Janet, the therapy's not working. Luke and Kristen did it. Speaking of sex, 15 minutes, Schwartz? Really? Welcome to Showmance, guys, the #1 show on YouTube doing deep dives on shows with no depth.
Shows as shallow as Janet's apology tour, as Danny's vasectomy research.
I'm going to go get one. We get to bang 35 times. No, sorry. Let me rephrase that. We have to bang 35 times. Just keep quiet. Nobody asked you. The doctor said you got to bang 35 times before the appointment.
But banging is not required, actually.
I don't
At
remember
all.
any of this part. You guys are making things up.
No, because you don't listen.
Yeah. And Danny's also,
I heard the parts
he's one
I
of those
needed
guys
to.
that tells horrible jokes.
Why does she need to be in a wheelchair?
I kept rewinding to be like, what was he saying about Nia having to sit in a wheelchair because of what?
I don't think that was a joke. That was a serious. He was being serious. That was showing real care and
Oh
concern.
my God.
Okay,
his
listen,
wife.
by the time I was like being like pretty hard on him, being like, wow, you have the worst jokes. He doesn't just have dad jokes. He is a father of like 900 children.
Yeah.
So like he is the ultimate dad jokes. You're not even a dad and you have those bad jokes. So like I've decided that like
had the same thought. Like you can actually get away with it because you
Yeah.
have a football team's worth of
Yeah.
children. Mike, what's your excuse?
Oh, I thought you were pointing at her and being like, she has a football team's worth of children. I'm like, wait,
No,
what?
you
Is there
put
some
the
breaking
kibosh
news
on
here that I
that,
don't
didn't
know
you?
about?
Saw how that ended for Kyle. Might want
Whatever.
better hope Craig doesn't come around these parts, or we could have a scamandal,
I
a
think
real West Side scamandal.
if you're a dad, it's a dad joke. If you're not a dad, it's a dumb joke. I like dumb jokes. AKA dad jokes if I had kids, which I have 2. Here's
Okay.
one right here.
Sorry, I have to open up my chips because I need 20 more grams of protein before the ice cream comes.
Courtney's training for the Mr. Universe competition that Arnold Schwarzenegger
There's
won.
19, and I don't even like eating processed food, but I can't, because I'm a vegetarian, it is so hard to get 140, now they upped it a gram, 144 grams of protein a day. Do you know how much protein that is?
I honestly don't. I haven't kept track of anything in so long. I either just don't eat at all or I eat everything that I've ever seen in my life. So I don't look at those things because it brings me no joy and yeah.
If you've ever counted your macros to bulk up, you know it is a special kind of torture. But it's fine.
Macros, like macaroni and cheese. Let me know if you ever seen that commercial. It's so stupid.
It's so bad. It's such a bad
horrible,
commercial.
But I also kind of dig
But
it.
I know. That's how I know it, because you were telling me there's this really great commercial. And then when you said it, I was like, that's not great at all.
I don't know if I said great. It's funny, but it's horrible.
That commercial's in hell next to Britney's relationships.
I love that they play like 3 variations of it back to back to back. It's good times. Anyways.
I do not appreciate.
Anywho.
Okay, we start off the app with the Bookos, all the kids swimming in the pool. Their backyard is pretty great, and being able to like be in SoCal and have a pool and have your kids flopping around with dad and all that stuff just seemed really pretty idyllic. But
A full real live adult home that I'm sure they paid $1 million for or something in the vicinity. And it's all like has just like the apparatus of a high-end daycare kind of like it's like a toddler dictatorship. Kids just seem like they are like lifestyle terrorists. Like you can spend all that money on like a dope house somewhere, and then like
you live in their
everything
house.
has to be barbed wired and like
Yeah, barbed wired and like juice everywhere.
Yeah.
Cheerios jammed into every nook and cranny. Like
yeah.
that's a
Yeah,
nice
when you
house.
sit on a couch, like you're feeling like
Oh,
Cheerios, like
everywhere. Just mac and cheese from like 3 weeks ago. It's not the necklace
and
they
you
made at
just stumbled
school.
upon it
Yeah,
now.
like
Probably when somebody's
everywhere.
come over to visit. You didn't
Yeah.
see that, and now here you are sitting on my couch, and I'm looking over there and going, "Oh, that's barf."
Yeah,
You
or
can't keep
someone-
up with it. They're
barf.
producing it faster than you can keep up with it.
Yeah.
And it's how we talk about like don't go to bed mad or don't go to like don't let 10 days go by. Don't like because then it just becomes habit that like you don't talk or you don't resolute is that a thing? Resolve.
You can be resolute about
Yeah.
your resolve.
I think I like my new invented word I just made up. But yeah, you don't resolve anything. And it's just say like that day comes where your friends come over finally and they're like, oh my God, that's so great. And their phone falls in the deal and they pull it out and there's like a spaghetti stuck to it. And you don't even care. You're like, yeah, kids. And they're like, yeah, kids. And then that's it. Your friends never come over anymore. And you have spaghetti in your couch.
I don't know if that's ever happened to me, but I don't really have a lot of friends with kids.
But when you lose something, or you're like, oh, did my earring fall in between, or does my necklace or whatever, and you'll go, oh my gosh, and you'll do this, and I go, please don't do it, like, because it's just, I know it's going to be a cat treat shoved in there. Couple hundred,
and maybe a chip.
When Shane and I were dating, now he is kind of in like the studio that's like attached to the house. I would find spoons, lighters, whole bags of things. Just you don't know how deep those crevices are.
Yeah, maybe it's not just a kid thing. Maybe it's just assholes.
Slopopotamuses, as I like to call them.
Well, I mean, I'm an asshole. Mike's for sure an asshole.
So then next up is the little snippet of Schwartzy with his brother in his house talking about wanting to have a kid.
His brother doesn't live here, right?
I think they all live in Florida.
So he's just visiting. He's just bopping in. You know what I think is so funny is, and this is horrible. I love Tom Schwartz so much, and I'm sure I would love his family too. But we've met his brothers at like the wedding that he had with Katie, and I was just thinking like how they all lived at home, like all the brothers still lived at home and the dad lived there. And
they're triplets.
Yeah. Yeah. And I thought about like, is Tom Schwartz like, is he like a Mensa of his family? Is he like, do people go, I don't know, but you should call my brother Tom. He knows everything. Like, do you get off the phone with Tom and go, I only understood half of what he said, but like, it's pretty brilliant stuff.
I mean, he is a very well-spoken dude, but I know why you're saying it, because these people, his siblings and him, seem very different.
Yeah, they seem different, but I love it. Tom is such a lovable love bug. He's such a lovey.
In this scene, it hit me like a ton of bricks when he was talking about like how, the only thing missing from this house is a relationship and a kid. And I'm like, Nat's been gunning for this dude, like wanting him back on the show from the second the cast was announced for season 1 and he wasn't on it. Because Natalie loves a relationship guy.
I do.
You love a guy who wants to be in love. That's why you love Craig.
Because I just think like sky's the limit after that. Once you've got that like locked in. Because I honestly believe that like men. I honestly think that men are not where they should be because they don't have a good partner. Like I think that like they end up and the longer it takes them, the worse they get. And then it's going to be some other woman's mess by the time now I'm 55. Like that shit ain't changing,
Do you know that if a man has not been in a long-term relationship, I want to say by the time he's 40, it's definitely not older than 40, he has a 1 in 3 chance of becoming a substance abuser. How crazy is that? The statistics, this is what's fucked up about marriage. It's a real raw deal for women, but it's a real great deal for men. Men are more likely to abuse pornography, their relationships will go away. They don't succeed at work. Single men perform worse at their job than married men. These are not my opinions. These are facts. Married men live longer than single men. Married women live shorter lives than single women. Like, it's just crazy. Now, women between the ages of like 20 something and 40, 52% of them are childless, which means we're the majority because women are getting hip to the fact that like, I'm not marrying you for money anymore because that's sociologically, is that the right term? How women would marry up.
Yeah.
Because they know if I'm going to have a kid for us, you need to be able to support us. You need to be able to take care of us. And I'm putting my life, my livelihood, all of that on the line. So it's like a Darwinian thing.
Yeah.
And if y'all aren't bringing financial stability to the table, okay, so I make more than you. You're moving into my house and I got to do your laundry? Nah, bro.
Hell yeah. Where do I sign up for that?
Also, I think that men actually get better jobs when they have a family, whereas women probably don't. And men do because, like, if I'm hiring, I know this guy needs this job. He's got a wife and now a 3rd kid on the way. Like, this guy's going to do anything I tell him to do. So I'm gonna pay him and I'm gonna give him a good title and he can get another title next year and whatever. But like, he's gonna be here. He's gonna stay here because it should be or was always on the man's shoulders. Now I know that times have changed a bit, but I'm just saying, like, for the most part, I think generally speaking, men get hired getting paid more and getting better titles at better companies, bigger companies, more benefits, whatever. Because if you got the family, you got to stay. For women, I think that they don't get the job because they have a family to take care of. So they know that the job is always going to come second in a way,
or they think but it wouldn't, because if you look at like women run and founded companies, they produce better like year over year returns than male companies do. It's just a very funny space. I think men maybe need to just step it up and bring a little bit more to the table to be enticing to a woman. Why do I want to be with you?
Listen, you're plenty enticing.
Yeah, that's why you guys have been together for 16, almost 17 years. He's enticed you.
She hasn't found the key to the handcuffs, to the heel lock.
I don't get it.
Either it's a dad joke, probably. It's a non-dad joke.
Oh, because you're trying.
Yeah. If you have to ask to explain the joke, then it's
not a good
You
joke.
guys are a little slow on the funny uptake.
Then we get into Kristen and Luke at their place, just talking about how like lovely the sip and see was, which it did seem really nice. And then they start talking about Michelle. It wasn't on my bingo card that Michelle and Tom were told to flirt by the producers. Yeah, that's what it was. And then it was weird because Luke said, "Oh yeah, they're gonna go. They're meeting up. They're going on a date in West Hollywood." But it wasn't a date. Like even later on in the episode, Tom or one of them said, not when they were on the non-date. Before that, at Lala's kid's birthday party, they were like, "Oh, yeah, we're meeting up, but it's not a date." So I don't know why Luke said that.
He's probably like one tracked right now on everything: dates, romance, sex, all the things. So he's like, they're going on a date. They get a date night. I can't even get a date night.
I think that's funny. I think it's probably just him trying to be funny. Like, oh, these two, I can't believe they're going on a full date. Like, I don't know if he was being serious, and if he was, then it was probably just more like, hey, can you guys go over there and flirt? Sick. Cool. Now we're here on a Friday. Hey, can you tell your, oh my God, they were flirting and now they're going on a date. Like, it's either produced or I think he was just being funny. I'll say this. I think that there has been, mainly with Summer House, there's been some amazing conversations happening on that show. And another show that I can't remember.
A Bravo one?
Yeah.
Okay. Southern Hospitality?
Was it Soho?
It was probably just Brad talking about.
It was. So you're right. You're right. You're totally right. So So Brad and Emmy thing on Southern Hospitality.
Emmy's a total idiot, but Brad.
Yeah, 100%.
Is here to educate.
But yeah, it was great conversation. It's kind of still happening on that show, and it's been good. And then the Summer House conversation with Sierra and Mia and KJ. Good conversations we need to be having. This conversation and their like thing, Kristen and Luke's thing that they're dealing with right now, when this was I was like, this is a real thing. Like this is a legitimate
another great conversation
thing and has the potential to be another legitimate great conversation that would be amazing for everyone to witness and just kind of see these struggles of like marriage. I know they're not married, but like a partnership, a coupling, a child brought into a new relationship, those struggles and all that it entails, divorce, like not just them, all across this show. You know, how do you deal with a divorce? How do you deal with a super toxic partnership and divorce? Like, I think the last couple of years I've been crying about like, I don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch this crap. I want like, fun and games and da-da-da. And now I'm starting to think like, oh, it could be a very good expose on the struggles of married life.
Totally. And I think also because Nia and Kristen are really close and they're talking about it, especially from like the female side of things. And I do think Danny is, for the most part, very good at being helpful and like in tune with Mia. Listen, he stumbles like any other human will, but I think it's nice to like, and also Luke, because of his age, and we talked about it last episode, and actually last year as well, just that he seems to have like a different set of communication skills than the moronic Jaxes of the world. Yeah. And so I think even just by way of watching these two couples interact with each other, like the dudes, the chicks, all four of them together, then as couples, is really helpful to people. And actually Meteor Wine had a phenomenal comment about this whole thing that Luke and Kristen are going through. And he said, first baby is a rough ride for everyone. Nothing can prepare you for the sheer joy nor the utter chaos and change it brings to a partnership. Luke has to accept that Mother Nature rearranges the pecking order for good reason and give Kristen the space she needs physically and emotionally. But ultimately, Kristen will have to figure out how to fit their marriage back into the picture. It's not just sex. While sex is the connective tissue in any relationship, it's also a bit of attention. Hope they make it work. And that's really it in a nutshell. I also responded to that comment saying, Meteor, I think you might be the Yoda of Bravo. Like all of his comments are so sage. It's such sage advice. But I also thought while I was watching this scene, I thought everything that Barry had just mentioned makes perfect sense. And I also thought Kristen, her aversion to having sex with Luke at this part of the episode, which has been 3 months since they've had their kid, it's about something else. It's not just like, oh, yes, of course, the physical aspect of like my body just pushed out this child and whatever. There is something else going on, trust me, whether she ever says it to us or not. But like when she said, I still just feel so connected to her, that doesn't really connect to what he's saying. Or like, I'd feel like such a bad mom getting a babysitter so we could have sex. The baby takes nap, and I can't even imagine how exhausted you are. I'm just saying, like, you don't necessarily have to do it the way Luke said it.
Would you like the sex A platter or the sex B platter?
Yes.
Like, she's taking it in like, do you want to get murdered in the kitchen or in the den? Like, that's how she heard that, was like, these are my options. How about you die?
When she was like, I just pushed a kid out of my, like, when she said that, I was like, I don't know why, but I just kind of was like, oh, weirdly, I can relate to that and be like, it's not relate, but it made perfect sense.
It resonated with you.
Yeah, it resonated with me. Yeah, wait, what did I just say? Yeah, whatever.
It resonated?
Yeah, it just made sense. I was like, oh, that thought of like, you know, and a lot of guys talk about it. A lot of husbands are like, if they're in the room and when they watch a little baby coming out of their most precious thing in the whole wide world, and they're like,
A little baby coming out of the most precious thing in the whole
that,
world.
Yeah, meaning
their
your
vagina
hoo-ha.
has always been a
Your
favorite
vagina.
place of a husband, and then like it'll mess with you for a couple days. So I've heard.
Why
Would
would you?
toughen up, boys?
No,
Come
fine.
Oh,
on.
wait, no, no one's. Listen, I'm not having children, but if I did, you would not be on the. You would be on the other side of the curtain. You would not be on the side that was seeing
Some people
anything.
are there. Some people want to watch the situation happen.
Some people might want to do a lot of things
Wait.
that they're not going to be allowed to do.
Fine.
You mean that like he's just up by your head? Like he's not outside
you
of the
can
room?
you can hold my hand. And
Okay.
That's what you can do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
I probably won't
clarify
even
for
be
your
there.
non-child.
It'll probably be you next to in the room. I'll be playing golf or something because I won't be allowed there. So I've heard that. So I imagine if it's happened for a dude, it could easily happen for a woman. And then the like now it's almost like if Luke had been like, oh, I don't even know how he words it. And I put a funny comment that I'll read later. But I don't know how he words it. But the fact that he was like, you know, we can drop the kid off at, like he worded it in such a way that like we could drop the kid off and then, you know, have a little date night. Like he kind of basically did say, we can drop the kid off at your mom's and and I could also get with Kristen on the like, I would be banging thinking like, did I literally just ditch my kid off at my friend's house or my parents' house so we could do this? I don't know. I think it would get into my head. And I get the nap. I get it. Like it's weird, but I get what she was saying. I could totally understand what she was saying.
Yes, everything. To be clear, everything
And
she
I
said.
like the bone. So
Everything she said sounded incredibly like logical. I get why she's feeling this way. My spidey sense is telling me there's something else going on that maybe she's not verbalizing, because when she was saying this, like you can feel connected to your child and be intimate with your significant other. Those aren't like mutually exclusive things. And I feel like I just feel like I don't know if she's not telling him that like I don't feel confident in my body, or I'm worried that you're gonna put it in me and it's going to feel so different and you're going to fall out of love with me and then you're never going to want to have sex with me again and you're going to go find someone else and then I'm going to be a single mom because you cheated on me. Like something.
Did she say that or you just?
No, I'm just
Okay.
all the different scenarios that a woman could go through.
Yeah.
Because I've had friends who've had babies and they're just like, I'm worried like it's going to, what if it feels different for me? What if it feels different for him? We had this great sex life. What if it's not like that anymore? And
Isn't that why people, what do people call it? The honeymoon stitch?
I think it's called like the dad stitch or something like that because but also like your organs rearrange when you have a child inside of you because it's got to make, when you're putting something on the coffee table, if the coffee table's already cluttered, you got to make space for it. They also talk in this scene just how they've got Sosa's first birthday party coming up. They know Janet's going to be there and Kristen's like, bye girl. Like I got nothing for you.
Yeah. Kristen, she was wearing a very boobylicious top. She looks quite hot sitting there next to Luke. And I thought, oh, well, right, because she's breastfeeding. So this would be very easy to like take a boob out and breastfeed. And then it dawned on me that she's not breastfeeding. So I can understand why he looks a little confused as to like why things aren't happening. Because like it looks like she's dressed to like party, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like not a thing.
Yeah. He's seen all those boobies in his face, and he's like, boobies.
That's what I mean. She like I'm sure she has a minute, a ways to go, whatever. I know, but I thought she looked kind of gorge in this scene. You know,
This is what I'm saying. I just think she's got something else is going on and she's
that
not
would make
verbalizing
total
it.
sense. Yeah.
I feel like there's so many emotions, highs, lows. It's like you are on drugs almost, like after that postpartum portion of it. Like she said something, your fourth trimester, which I guess it's nothing I've ever heard of. Maybe it's like a new term for like, yes, you've given birth, but like you still have all the hormones raging through you. There's baby weight to lose or whatever. And I just think I don't know if she is scared to say it. She hasn't connected the dots yet, but I hope she gets to the bottom of it and I hope she shares it with us because I'm telling you something else is going on.
That would make total sense. But I also think that she could just not be interested in him that way right now. And I think that all ebbs and flows and like it doesn't have anything to do with him specifically, but like she just seems to me like she's just not like, I just think that she like, again, what you just said would make perfect sense. And like, maybe she'll come out with it next week and say, here's the real deal. But it could also just be like, she's just not looking at him as like a sexual being right now because she's not a sexual being and she's just, I don't know. When you talk about organs kind of moving around, I feel like maybe your hormones kind of move around too and have to get readjusted.
But whatever Barry said, Meteor Wine said about like Mother Nature reprioritizes or reorganizes, reshifts the priorities or whatever.
The pecking
like,
order.
The pecking order. Like I read that comment too and was like, oh, that part of it stuck out to me. Because yeah, there's a thing now that can't take care of itself. And you guys are, in theory, old enough to have made this thing. So you should be old enough in the like mother nature of it all. You should be old enough to take care of yourselves. So I'm going to reorganize, reshuffle the pecking order because we did the sex is for the thing. You made the thing. And I'm not saying that I'm not that guy like, oh, sex is only for procreating, but I'm in the mother nature of it all. It is, right? And so like Mother Nature would say, good job, you did the thing. Let's not think about sex. Let's think about all focus, all attention to this wiggly blob that can't even do anything. You know what I mean?
Truly.
And then once we get this guy up and running, then you guys
Once you get this kid up,
you go make another
5
one.
years.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
And to be clear, I think both things are happening, Nat. Like she feels a certain way about her body, like all the things.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
body
yeah.
just pushed this thing out, but I just feel like there's that other.
No, that thing that you said, I would feel that. I would definitely, because I'm all up in just like here's the thing, once you are in your late 20s and haven't had children, you start being like, right. And so then I don't have this problem. I don't have that. Like there are like with the downsides of like, oh, I kind of missed the boat on that. I don't really know what happened. There are upsides of like, that never happened to me. My body never had to go through this massive thing, you know?
Yeah.
So like when you're looking for upsides, you can find some, you know? And so I know that I would be thinking, because I have been so like sex centered in like a what do men want? What keeps a man around? Also, I think also when you come from families that have been divorced like 9 cumulative times, you start just thinking like, oh, dudes can leave at any second, you know. And also having been married and having a dude leave in one random second that no one saw coming, that you do start really like focusing on like, is it because I'm just like not the woman? Like I'm not like someone that was like had all the things like hitting on all cylinders that were going to keep someone around. So I would be thinking that same thing. She's probably old because since she did have a baby older, she's probably aware of those things just like I am. And now it's happened to her and now she has to deal with it. And she just things she's probably conjured up in her head are all like coming to fruition, not necessarily in reality, but in her mind, like, oh, it's happened. I am that lady that had that baby and now nothing looks the same and feels the same. And why would he want to stay? You know, where I feel like, listen, I don't know Luke, but I feel like a gun to my head, Luke is not the guy that's going anywhere. Like he really seems like he is here and down to pound.
You'll probably read it later, but since you don't read them until later because you like to be surprised, Truth had an amazing comment today.
You're not supposed to read them either. We're all supposed to be surprised.
Well, surprise.
Sometimes it catches my eye and I'll read one, but that's all I'll do. Like if I see my name, I'm reading it. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, crackhead. No, I read them all. And then, and whatever. There are like moments, I've talked about this before and it makes me feel so bad, but whatever. There's like moments when I get too busy and like a week or two will go by and I haven't read any comments, and then like 3 or 4 weeks have gone by and I'm like, I can't go start hearting comments from a month ago. People are gonna be like, this guy's a psycho. Anywho, but she had a great comment about another great story about her and her partner and how they waited 10 years to have a kid and miniature.
Great. Good luck getting that open.
Yeah. No cookies for you. That they waited 10 years to have a kid and that she thinks that having a relationship for 10 years because you go through so many ups and downs and you really have to get through some hard times in a 10-year span, that helped because the bond was so much stronger and you knew that like, yes, all these things are happening to a woman and to a man and to a relationship. And if you're 6 months in, a year in or whatever, yes, it can work. But 10 years in, knowing that like, she's not going anywhere. He's not, again, anything can happen. But for that, having that foundation.
That's what I think too.
Yeah. And then throwing a massive life-changing, crazy, oh man, nothing's ever going to be the same again type situation into the mix is a lot easier to handle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next scene up is when Zach goes over to Brittany's to just do a little pop in and he sees Cruz. Cruz seems like he's doing really great. Seems like Brittany has that whole sensory room, which is incredible. And so helps kids. I have kids in my life that are on the spectrum and I just see what a difference if you're able to get them into like that occupational therapy and speech. Maybe it's just speech. I can't remember what the rest of it's called.
Pathology.
What?
Pathology?
No, it might just be like speech classes. I forget.
Just speech therapy.
Speech therapy.
My mom was a speech therapist for a bit.
Thank you. That's exactly what it is. I'm like speech. There's another word. It's early intervention just helps a lot of kids on the spectrum really thrive. So I'm excited to see what happens with Cruzy. And I like that Zach is always very honest with her, just being like, you are moving too fast. You are a serial monogamist. I'm not saying that you're dating another Jax, but there are signs.
I'm not saying the playroom's not helping Cruz. I'm sure it is. That kid, we talked about it a couple times. The couple times that Jax was in the same room with that kid, or that when Jax would come over and be like, "Hey, Daddy's home," and that kid would cower and not say a thing, and like did not want to hug his own dad. Like there was clearly a vibe and a like Jax was the mean guy. Like there was just like he didn't understand, but he was like, that is not a good thing. And I don't even think he comprehended that was his dad. I don't know, but there was just a vibe that kid did not like Jax's presence, right? 180. Smiling, jumping around, happy. Like that's the only thing Brittany's going to say, I guarantee it, all season long that's worth half a shit is that now that Jax is gone, Cruz is like a joy, like happy and just not
Blossoming
like
and-
not just cowering, not scared of this thing that might happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
His vibe looks amazing. He looks so happy.
He seemed like he was like released from like an emotional terrorist
100%.
situation,
Like
like
a
or hostage
1,000,000,000%.
situation.
Totally.
Yeah.
And is doing great in his recovery from that. Like he really looks. He like that's how I watched that scene a couple times. I rewound it and was like, dude, this kid.
Yeah.
This doesn't even look like the same kid.
Yeah, totally.
Because there's more people in that room than like you like
Yeah,
one could
always.
think like, oh, well, he's really comfortable with Zach. Zach's probably there all the time, so that's Uncle Zach, and it's all good and great. You don't see that there's, I would say, a minimum of 5 other people in that room right now. 2 camera guys, an audio guy, and maybe a lights guy, an assistant of sorts, a producer. Like there's a bunch of
More
people
than
there
5,
that like,
yeah.
oh, yeah, I'm like talking minimum.
Yeah.
And so for him to be acting that way, it's not a comfort zone. Like maybe they've got the same producer from whatever. It doesn't matter. Like
Yeah, no.
it
Yeah.
is
A camera in an
Jax.
adult's face could be intimidating. So,
Yeah.
like, to your point,
Yeah.
I think the camera in his face and he's doing so great.
Yeah,
Just,
it was Jax.
Yeah,
it was Jax, and
it
it
was
makes me
100%
wonder,
Jax.
like my mom used to say that it would be really hard for her to like my dad was a great dad, but like my dad would be like, oh, she'll be fine, just throw a helmet on her and throw her in the ocean, see what happens, you know, like let's just like throw
give her
her,
some
throw-
bologna and put her in a boat.
put her on a boat, yeah, like, but so she would handing me over to him every other weekend she was like. Like, is she gonna come back in one piece? Is she gonna come back without her hair chopped off with a perm? Because that happened one summer. She was none too pleased.
Wait, you really had a perm?
Yeah, my sister Deborah is a stylist, and so like I had hair like down to here, and I went to my dad's for the summer, and I came back with like I looked like a baby in Dirty Dancing, and I was like 8.
Oh my God. Do we have pictures of this, Gina?
I'm sure there are. I think I had a broken arm too. I could just say,
What happened that
I don't
summer?
know. You know, dads are fun. You know, you just get to do whatever you want.
Wait, there are pictures. I've seen that. I've
Like the
seen
curly
that.
short
Yeah,
hair,
yeah,
like the curly
totally.
bob. Yeah, my mom.
100%.
Like, I get off the plane. My mom's like, because this wasn't in the days of cell phones where like you're keeping tabs on. Like, here's a photo. Oh, this is what we did today. It was like I'd be gone for 3 months, and then I'd come back, and she'd be like, "What happened?
The
Where are all
fuck?
your clothes? And
My
where are
mom-
all?"
Wait,
My
did your mom know? Sorry, did you tell her on the phone like, oh hey, my sister?
I don't think so. I don't even think I knew it was like a.
A big deal.
Yeah, I think my sister Deborah just like was like, "Oh, we should do this," and I'm like, "Okay."
You
Oh my
probably
God.
I'm looking so cute.
Yeah.
My mom, hopefully, I'm sure they've talked about this by now. My mom, when my brother would come for the summer, when it was time for him to fly home, my mom makes a chocolate. Oh, speaking of chocolate chips, what's up with them yogis? Oh, they've been sitting outside for 3 hours, all melted. My mom made triple chocolate cake, like chocolate chip, chocolate frosting, chocolate, everything chocolate cake with mandarin oranges in it. And that sounds a little wonky, but
No, it
like,
doesn't.
It was so good. And so for breakfast, it was tradition. Every time Morgan went back to my dad's that morning, it was Cokes and chocolate cake. That was what we had for breakfast. And she would just be like, have another piece. Have another piece. You want another soda? Have another soda.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
send it
just
back.
jack them up
Because he was in
on.
Oregon. So the flight's in like a 45 minutes from Sacramento or whatever. And Morgan would just be like, for like however many hours. And yeah, it was pretty funny.
That's great.
Yeah,
The
good
Daily
times.
Debbie's and Dr. Pepper. That was my whole summer.
Hell yeah, pew, pew, pew. Has it been sitting out there for an hour? That's pretty cool.
That's okay. Thanks so much. I love yogurt.
Thank you.
Oh,
What was that? What scene are we in?
when Zach goes to Brittany's, and you know what? Because we were asking about this last week. Benji's on a visa. He doesn't have a green card, so that's why he's got to go back.
Oh, I did love how Zach went into this conversation like all like, no, you guys seem to be having a great time talking about her and the boyfriend. No, it's so nice. You're getting your need. You're needy until your needs are met, you know. And it seems like you're really getting those needs just pounded out of you every fucking night. So he starts off very sort of like he'd come in like with a plan, like a just don't come in aggressive. But by the time that the conversation was over, I felt like he was like overheating because of the way she was answering questions. And I thought it was hilarious and showed me so much about her that he's like, well, you know, he's got the baby mamas, which this was news to me. What was double news to me, which I feel like we maybe find out in a later scene, but or it could be this, I don't know, was that he has 3 kids from 2 different baby mamas and there's drama with them.
Yeah.
And he said her reaction is, well, he was honest about it. He told me about it.
Oh, Brittany.
So dumb.
If
Jesus
that's
Christ.
the bar, and I get that we do have to remember that where she's just come from, and that she has been in a relationship since the day we met Brittany. She has been Jax's person, and so I understand that so there's going to be some unlearning of behaviors and patterns and whatever, but. That being her initial response was, well, at least he didn't hide it from me, as if like it's actually kind of normal for people to hide like second and third families. Like, I can't imagine if somebody lied to me about that. Like that's nothing like that has ever happened to me before, to where like, oh no, come to find out later. Like, my ex-husband had a massive gambling problem that I found out about, but I always knew he was gambling above our means, but I just didn't realize that it was like $100,000 over our means.
You didn't
like that was
find out like he had a second family in Glendale.
Yeah, exactly.
I also think though that Brittany's because yes, of course, like she's been through a lot, and so we have to take that into consideration. But I also think that's the thinking that got her in that situation with Jax in the first place, because she's just one of those people that was like, oh, he'll change, he'll grow out of it. I can look past. I'll make him a better man. No, you won't. No, he won't. No, he won't. Like. Just walk away, girl. He's a walking red flag. And it sounds like this guy Brandon is as well.
He looks gross too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he seems like not whatever. I mean, we'll find out. But let's keep in mind too, Brittany was engaged when Jax showed up.
I forgot that.
Took her away from her engagement, brought her to LA. They got married, got divorced. She was almost instantly with their friend, right? That ended. Now she's with Brandon, her old friend. That's gonna end. Like, so Brittany might have a little Amanda in her, where she's just
fully serial monogamist.
Cannot not be with a dude.
No, I agree.
And Zach called her out on it. He's like, you are always in a relationship. And she said, I have been single for 2 years. And he's like, on what planet have you been single for 2 years?
Yeah. So now about Benji, when Zach starts talking about Benji and their status, I'm all in for everything about their relationship. I have to say, I don't know Benji, and he seems so sweet, and like, I would never even clock him for this, but just him as anyone, the fact that he's only here on like a visa that he still hasn't really gotten under control yet, and they're in this open relationship, and like he's literally looking into $200,000 surrogates, like too fast. Like, it's not time for you guys to be and listen, Zach's not going to be he's going to put the kibosh on that and push it down the road, I'm sure. So I'm not worried that it's just going to happen out of nowhere. But like, that is the first thing that is making me look at Benji funny. Like, what will that mean for your visa? Will that help you stay in the United States? Like, just because like I know some people that I'm looking at with some side eye, like, you guys sure got married fast for nothing, like only to have problems later, and it's all, and then you find out, oh well, they are from a different country, and I don't know. I just I don't, maybe this will affect Benji's visa or his immigration status 0, because that's how uneducated I am about like what the rules are when it comes to something like that. I know that obviously women, if you have a baby here, I know that there's just ways. So I just like, I don't think that they should rush into this at all. I also think on the other side of that if in my concern for Benji, I think that Zach will one day want a family. But right now I think that Zach is really feeling his new, like things are on the upswing. He's in the 3rd season of like a show that's honestly only gotten great. Like this, I don't want to get too excited.
Like 26 or 27. Like, how old is Zach?
Young.
I think he's in his 30s.
Oh, really?
I mean, everyone else is like in their 40s. Did they just like pluck this 20-year-old?
He's got to be in his 30s.
Yeah. I think that right now Zach is really feeling like he's got a little money, he's got a little fame, got a show, he's in great shape. I'm sure he would still like the option to like disappear into West Hollywood one night for 48 hours and not have the cops called on him for like a missing persons report. Like I think like he needs about 3 more years of like doing whatever the he wants and enjoying his well-deserved nice lifestyle now.
Wait, did you take the kid thing where it's like Benji wants to have a kid tomorrow?
He's calling agencies.
Because it's a long process.
39 years old.
He's 39. Yeah, I knew he wasn't.
God, he looks great.
Yeah, he looks great.
Looks amazing. I think it's my friends just went through this.
Psycho.
I know.
Yeah, he looks amazing.
Yeah.
My friends, they're a gay couple. They just went through this. It took them 5 years to have the kid.
And honestly, like I want to adopt one day, so we probably should start looking into it now. But they're just so new that even the looking into it feels, I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way. Like I didn't get like I don't know. That's weird that you're already calling agencies and it's a $200,000 fee. Who's paying for that? Does Benji have money?
Yeah, he's a doctor.
What do I know about any of these people?
I actually took it the exact opposite way. I thought it was really sweet because I think, like you just said, Zach I think he'd be such a great dad.
Yeah.
And I think he would get to a point where, like, I think if he didn't have kids, his life would still be amazing and full. But I do think if he's in this relationship with Benji and Benji wants to do it, like, I think he would end up really loving it. And because it is, from what I understood, just from the few people that I know that have done the surrogacy route, like it takes a while to find the surrogate and the egg and do all the retrieval stuff.
I actually didn't realize that surrogacy took that long. I knew adoption took that long. I thought like if you just got to find the person that's willing to do the thing and then it's just like you just start. I didn't realize that was a 5-year process.
It doesn't have to take 5 years, but it takes a really long, from everyone I know that's done it. If you have gajillions of dollars, you can fully fast track it because you'll find the surrogate that, like, this is going to be ridiculous, but as I spit everywhere. But like there are high-end surrogates. So like I know someone whose surrogate was the surrogate for like Kim Kardashian's kid. And this woman has done it many, many times. Yeah. And this is her job and she makes a good living at it and she helps people have their children. It's wild. And that she makes lot of money. And so yeah, it's the same thing. Like if you're rich, going to see a doctor, you could see them the next day. If you're not, you wait on the wait list like every other schmuck. Yeah. And I think with someone who's like a normal person and it is like that 200, 250, that is so much money. Yeah. That like you have to have that conversation because how much is this going to cost? Okay. Are we going to start saving for it now? Do we take a loan out for it? You start interviewing surrogates because just because you meet someone and they want to do it, you might not get a good vibe from them. No, you might not trust them. Like my friends had a surrogate lined up and it fell through. And this was who they were working with for like 2 years at a certain point. And then also figuring out like who can give you an egg and does that egg work and what's the I didn't know either until they told me. And by the way, they just had their baby on Monday. Nice. It's Ryan and Ori.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, two of my best friends just had their baby. So at any rate, I thought it was just so sweet that like he really wants to be in a relationship with this guy. He is bringing this stuff up right now. It just felt like if I can only liken it to like being in a straight relationship where if I'm on a date with a guy and he asks me like, so do you want to have this kind of a life? And it would get me excited because it's like, oh, you're thinking about our future together. Yeah. And I'm also rooting for them.
No, I know.
Not that you're not.
Totally
I could be
literally, it was just like the immigration status and that this is very new and they're in this open relationship and that I thought Zach is in his prime right now. He's got to be really feeling like probably more like the least amount of anxiety about are we going to get renewed? Like this show's getting renewed. Come on. Like unless there's like some scandal, whatever scenario, like things are going pretty well. So I just want him to, enjoy his life and have his new boo and like them just enjoy life right now and not like rush into having a baby with someone that can't even live here full time for God knows how long it will take in this goddamn administration.
By the way, I don't know why he would want to move here right now. Go to Canada.
True. Why aren't they moving to Canada?
No, the show's not filming in Canada.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay, so next it's Sosa's first birthday party, and Lala thinks
dude, that was wild. That was
her hitting on the lifeguard,
like full blown. Just, do you mind if I get it? That'd be weird. Like that dude, I almost felt a little uncomfortable for that poor guy. No, not that uncomfortable.
I was gonna say, I don't know if
hope
he felt that.
Dude banged Lala, yeah. But like, I
Dude,
felt a little uncomfortable.
If that was now that you're saying it, if she was the dad of the house and that lifeguard was a woman, we'd be like, what a fucking creep.
Oh my
No,
God,
if he
it'd
was
be
cute and we liked him like
completely
we like
disgusting.
Lala, I wouldn't feel that way. I would be
No,
like,
I'm talking about.
Oh, you would 100. If a girl lifeguard came, little blonde cutie with a little bikini, or like a what? Not long.
Yeah, like that.
But like a girl lifeguard.
and I liked the guy like I like Lala, I'd be like, yeah, go for it. I wouldn't think it was weird.
Oh, I think
No.
that people would be a little outraged.
Yeah,
by
I
it.
think I would write. I don't know, even just from
Were you about to say? I think I would write a letter.
A strongly worded email.
Like what?
yeah. No, I just would be like, listen, I like Lala. She's very polarizing. Half of our audience is not a fan.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, if that were a dude, I think it would be a different. I think it would look funny if it was like Jesse. If it was Jesse.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If I liked the guy, like if I thought he was a
Yeah.
cool guy and had like good morals and whatever, and like I guess maybe I'm also coming from the place of I like Lala. So if I'm thinking I like the dude and it's so hard to meet like a great guy, I'd be so psyched if a guy came up to me and was like, can I get your number?
I think what's different about it is we know that it's just a bang.
You guys, whether you like him or not, she was literally introducing herself. So this person is under your employ. They got to stay there. So if that's a dude, if it's a dad saying that to a woman lifeguard who is now like, I just showed up my job and I'm in my bathing suit. Now I have to sit here. I'm so gross. I'm not like, that's gross. That's creepy. This old dad is asking me to like, Lala looks great. But like, I really think like it might be a little different if it were Jessie Lolly, who half the people like and only half the people like Lala. So like,
Yeah, if Jesse went, I was like, "Hi, you're the lifeguard. Hi, I'm Jesse. Oh, nice to meet you. You're really attractive.
you're really pretty.
You're really pretty."
But that's
And
because I
walked back
think Jesse should
inside,
be like in a cage away
and
from
then
humanity.
came back out and was like, "No, like, would it be weird if I gave you my number?" And the girl was just like that guy didn't, like, they didn't. If I could have been editing, but he seemed like, lady, I'm here doing a job. I'm trying to make sure your kid doesn't drown. Can you back
he didn't
off?
seem
Like,
mad, but he didn't seem like
not mad, but like,
baby.
yeah, he seemed a little
wasn't
like, is this weird? Is this a normal thing? Like, whatever. If that was a girl who felt that way, who you were like, if there was a girl just sitting there not really saying anything, this would be.
And they have to sit there for
It
the
would
next
not
4
be getting
hours and be
renewed
like,
for
I'm so
another
creeped
season.
out right now. And I have to sit here while this
Yeah.
guy is over here telling everyone, I'm going to check her out on my nap time.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And walking back in the kitchen and being like, yeah, I'm going to bang, bang, bang. Too. Like,
I forgot she did that.
so horned out.
Yeah.
And she did it with Schwartz.
Yeah.
She tried to bang Schwartz.
That's
What'd
too.
she say? Oh, I'm going to
Drunky
get
and-
drunk and bump. And I'm like,
Yeah.
are you
Bum
getting
Buckley
drunk
or something?
now?
And she said something later. Somebody was like, oh, da-da-da. And she's like, no, I'm going to do that later with Schwartz. Like, she was on one.
Yeah. You know
She
what I
was
love about Lala?
horned out.
Is she's like, she kind of reminds me of like kind of a ghetto Bethany Frankel. Like she's not wasting any
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
like
yeah,
there's so many minutes
totally.
in the day and she's kind of got it like, this is for this is for this. I'm going to wear this dress. I'm going to look banging, but I'm going to have this like efficiency like Baby Bjorn, but it's like not a Baby Bjorn. It's like not a hippy dippy. It's like,
Yeah.
it looked like it had like full on like fixed, like, I don't know. And she's just kind of walking around. Her whole party is like pristinely perfect. It looks like this kid's like an influencer on track any second to be making his own paycheck. Like it looked like it was a celebrity sponsored event of sorts. And she's just like, oh, okay. So I'm going to be doing this right now. I'm going to be over here. Oh, Janet, you want to talk to Brittany over here? Okay, great. You guys head over here. Have a chat. What are you doing at nap time? You want to run upstairs to my bedroom? I got 15 minutes. Let's pound it out.
Yeah.
Schwartz, what are you doing later?
Make sure no one's in the pool for these 15 minutes.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
right. Schwartz
Yeah.
watch the pool.
Yeah, I feel like she looks like motherhood looks so easy for her, and I'm sure.
Peppy.
Aw, Peppy. Look, but she's not doing anything. She just likes to bask in it. She likes nature.
Yeah.
Lala seems like she figured motherhood out in the same amount of time that it took me to figure out like how to be a server. Like by the end of your third day, you're like, wiping something down and closing the cash register
With
with a
your
little
hip.
bump. You're like out your regulars. Hey, Joe, you want the BLT again? On rye, right? Extra toasted, extra crispy. Like that's how she seems like to do life. And it's pretty aspirational because that would not be me. I'd be like, oh, right, I need the kid. I think I left him in the bathroom.
Yeah, I
I'd be
just like
my
her. She's a
phone.
take charge lady that I
Yeah.
really am into.
Yeah. And this season is so much lighter. And like I started to say this earlier, like I don't want to assume, like I get it's episode 2, okay, I get it. It could all go to shit by next week. But like I really think that Schwartz and Lala were like the perfect people to bring, because
So
you've just
good.
got this person who's so direct and is calling out just like, what about this? No, okay, great. And then Schwartz, who's like just like throwing up love on himself, like as
Love
like
him.
it's so much lighter. Everyone feels like they like each other, or at least they're like
It feels
a
like
family vibe, kind of.
So yeah, it's even better. I'll do you one better. Everyone feels like they like each other.
Yeah.
Except Janet. Janet feels so left out, which is so amazing. Like, again, only the second episode. Have we seen Jason? Where's Jason?
Yeah, he was at the party, but
like,
you saw
not
like the back of
really.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like not really, right? Like, so like it's, I'm kind of into that. And then I have an interesting relationship with Lala because I didn't love Lala I have a comment that I'll read later. That is a perfect. I was like, oh, this is my thing with Lala, because like I love Lala and then I hate Lala, and then I love Lala and then I hate Lala, and I love Lala. But like I don't like when Lala gets in her like gangster, fake ass gangster, like
love it.
whatever.
I do too.
I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, it seems so silly to me and fake. And like, that's how she used to like go after people. And now, like you said, it seems like she's like, all right, we got table 7. You guys need to talk. Table 8, boom, with the thing. Like, and she's like, okay, Schwartz, you want to do, and I'm gonna go flirt with the guy. We got cameras out there with the lifeguard. Yeah, okay, cool. 5 minutes. You need 5 minutes. All right, I'll be out there in 5. Schwartzy, what do we do? Like, just It seems like you said, like now
Every minute's accounted for.
yeah, like where before she was like, oh, I'm gonna be this like hardcore gangster, meanie, tough chick. And like that's gonna be and it just didn't work for me. And now she's like, I don't need to be that guy. I don't know if I'm that guy anymore. I've been grown up and like been run through the ringer once or twice, and like now I'm just gonna show up and work. I'm gonna do my job and be fun.
And
She's
she
kind
has
of
a
funny.
podcast with my ex-husband's ex-bitch. Like that's not a comfortable situation for anyone. But Lala, like it seems like that is more comfortable for her
I
than
think-
anything.
Yeah. It's cool to see that like them
Yeah.
come together and rage against that guy.
I've never
Seems like
listened
a-
to it, but I imagine she's fabulous.
Wait, Lala's podcast is with
Randall's ex.
before her.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Who she was the mistress to. Didn't know because the dude. I'm sure she knew something about it, but I now that we know who Randall is and like what he is to basically the city of Los Angeles, like the kind of leper that he is.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like I think that I could definitely put it all on him. Maybe 99.999% was on him because
for sure.
he's like the Epstein of like just on a smaller scale.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not Epstein.
Oh, Weinstein.
Weinstein.
Yeah. One of the Steens.
Little different. Not much, but a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
marginally. Also, Lala it's like the Carl thing. Like Lala got sober. That's probably the turn on when you really were like, oh, okay.
And I got to meet her. And she was
Totally.
so nice and funny and like cool. And I was like, oh.
But we're not going to be changing our discussion. Just because we meet people,
Yeah, no, not at all.
there's still fair game.
Yeah.
We haven't met her and we like her.
Yeah, I already like her.
Yeah. Then Janet shows up and she's very awkward and she's very nervous. She's talking some bullshit about wanting to make it right with people so it's not so it doesn't feel so, just weird all the time. And then every time someone tries to have a conversation with her, she
Makes it weird.
makes it weird and is like, well, I'm only going to apologize if you apologize, which is not how apologies work, Janet. You apologize because you were an asshole and see where the conversation goes from there.
Yeah,
But she just-
everyone thought it too. No one thought you weren't an asshole. Literally, if 10 million fans can't be wrong.
I'm sure your therapist is like, I saw the season.
Yeah.
You're an asshole.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
You're an
sure
asshole.
even Jason a couple times was like, Janet, you're being an asshole. And I'm your husband.
I can't get over that Lala loves this girl. I think it's only a matter of time before that table turns.
I feel like there's so many comments about it just like such a general consensus of like people are just like waiting with bated breath for like Lala to be like, listen, that's not gonna fly here, Janet. Like, it's only a matter of time
Gonna
before
light her up.
that happens.
Yeah, somebody said that to their, like, I think that's why they brought Lala, is to take out Janet.
Yeah, let's fingies crossed. One thing that's so brilliant to see is our queen Nia, unbothered. Like, when she shows up and you can see Janet's just internalizing all this angst.
Yeah.
And Nia is just like,
Couldn't give a shit.
I thought I saw a nap, but whatever.
Yeah.
She's so clear with her boundaries. She has worked through that shit in therapy, or her pastor, or whoever the hell she talks to, and has gotten on the right side of her anger with her.
Yeah.
And she let it go, ho. It was the most glorious thing to see. I was in heaven watching her, just the entire party, Janet be uncomfortable around Nia, and Nia's just like, I'm gonna breastfeed. Oh, you want to talk? Hi.
Janet's whole thing since she got here, again, I get that we're only on episode 2, but everywhere she goes in, she's leading with like some shit that happened last season. She's talking about like, well, you know, I'm trying to get right with so-and-so, or I'm trying to go into my therapist about this. When she says the thing about going to her therapist, and that she's like, therapy's been so helpful because it's just taught me that, wait, I think I wrote it down. Hold on.
Oh God, I know what you're gonna say.
Was like, it's taught me that I was leading conversations with words to intentionally hurt. So we're working on how I can come in with words that aren't so hurtful. And it's like the key word here, dickhead, is intentional. Like it's one thing if you are just a person who is like really direct and like I'm just being honest. You know, like some people are just honest to a fault where you're like, okay, bro, you could have just like softened that a little bit. Like that's a real thing. And I could see how therapy could really help you to recognize that and be like, you could actually soften that up. She's literally aware that she goes in places with the intent to harm. And so I don't know if therapy cures that. Only you can decide if you would like to stop intentionally harming people. Like,
well,
only you can prevent friend fires.
Yeah.
Hopefully therapy's teaching her like, okay, yeah, you know you do this. This is why, because somebody hurt you, because you always feel like you're at Loser Lake and everyone else is out having fun without you. And because I really think Janet was that chick in high school that was so, in middle school and all the schools, that was so brutal to be around because God forbid you don't invite me to something. Or if you had, you know how sometimes your mom's like, okay, you can have 2 of your friends over for a sleepover, which is such a big deal as opposed to the one person, right?
Yeah.
And you know, I just want to invite Jasmine and Nia because those are my girls and that's who I'm gonna have fun with. But if Janet finds out, everybody dies because you're an asshole for saying yes, you're an asshole for not inviting me, and you're an asshole because I'm still mad at you for the last thing we haven't made up from. Like, she always has to keep that standing of top dog. And I think she did it for a really long time. And I think part of how she did it was by keeping herself the center of the drama. So always engaging in like spreading drama, giving people the tea, having these outlandish opinions, and then bullying people. And now everyone is hip to her game and we're like, not gonna fly anymore. And all of her tricks aren't working because she hasn't been in therapy long enough to have really affected any actual change in her relationships, because we see it when she sits down with Jasmine. Jasmine was brilliant also. She's like, yeah, I'll listen. And she says, I just want to say sorry for whatever happened last year. And Jasmine's like, okay, I'm gonna sit with that. You know, thanks for saying it. Janet could not fathom that she's not accepting this apology right away and then offering her apology back to Janet, which Jasmine doesn't owe you an apology, Janet.
Honestly, even if she does, what's clear is that Jasmine doesn't care to mend things with you right now. Your juice is not worth the squeeze like that. And that's a bummer. Like, and that's something that only you can fix. You got to sweeten up and Minnie Poppins.
Minnie's upset about Janet.
Janet is coming in and leading with all the shit from the past. She's bringing it up and then saying, you know, still justifying it, but then trying to intertwine her therapy life in it. And then also that she, you know, wants less, she just wants good vibes and whatever. i.e., she wants to stay on the show and doesn't want to be the asshole odd man out in everything. When she comes in to have those two conversations, it's almost like they both just decided, like, no, we're not glossing over this. I think Nia even specifically says, I'm not going to have this conversation because it just seems like you just want to be less uncomfortable in here. Like, so I'm not going to, like, your apology seems to stem from just wanting to feel more comfortable around everyone. So like, that's not really, I don't really need that. That doesn't benefit me at all. And I'm not going to get myself back in the same situation with you. I thought it was kind of hilarious. And listen, if maybe Janet in real life, if Lala is really good friends with her and really loves her for whatever reason, like clearly there's something that she's got that I'm not seeing. And so I understand that right now I'm saying things that are so hurtful and I'm going to keep going. But I do want to acknowledge that, like, I would feel bad to know, like, for sure that, like, she hears something like this and feels like real shit about herself. But it was very satisfying because I am a viewer and I've only seen you how I've seen you. It was very satisfying for her to come in and start talking about how, like, our friend group got totally blown up last year. Everything is super fractured. And the camera kind of pans around the party and literally everyone is having a great time. Mm-hmm. Like, all that weirdness from last year is not there. It's not like everyone is best friends, but it almost seems like they're at least trauma bonded in a way where they're like, here we are 3 years after this. And they've all been friends for however long. They all have a history. But on top of that, now they've been through this thing that only a few select people in the world have had. They're called reality TV castmates. Yeah. And so everyone seems to have found like we're not best friends, but like a mutual respect. Mutual respect, even if that is the bare minimum, which it seems like they actually have more than that. But at the bare minimum, they have that. And she's talking about this. And it's like, no, Janet, you're still the only one. You're the only one that no one's with. No one's with just you. Like, they were taking a group photo and she's in this beige outfit. She was in my eye line of like, she's over here just kind of like doesn't really know what to do while everyone else is like
bunny ears, make the funny faces.
Yes, and all the babies. And
it's still not sinking in with Janet that you're the problem. If you meet 10 assholes a day, you're the asshole.
Exactly.
Like, it just, that is what it is.
Yeah.
And she didn't understand the reason Jasmine snapped at you and was like, you're a bad vibe, you have Karen energy, is because she had it up to here with you.
Yeah, you're not bringing anything good to this.
No, and you do have bad vibes. Like, you gotta get right with this if you want to be a part of this group, because we don't trust you. We don't have fun with you. We can't let our guard down with you. And she's just not getting it because in her mind, she's still that hurt. Who hurt you, Janet?
Yeah.
Like, what happened that was the inciting incident that turned you from probably like a cute, fun-loving kid to this person that it's like, if I was if I wasn't your first sleepover invite, everybody dies. Because she's still like that as an adult, and it is so brutal to be friends with. I said this before for a bunch of different shows, but I call this a jury duty friendship.
No, she is.
You don't show up and come the way that Janet wants you to show up, you have hell to pay for. There's a bench warrant out for your arrest, and I can't stand those people. They are so high maintenance, those friendships. They don't give as nearly as much as you've poured into them. And every time you hang out with them, it's like, I'm doing this because I know that this will pacify them for a minute, and then I have a second to breathe.
Yeah.
And no, and thank you.
No. So while I don't wish for anyone to show up at a party and literally be the odd man out, just by seeing what she's literally, the conversations that she's having in every single corner that she's having them in, you immediately go, no, you should be feeling this way because you've learned nothing. Like, you're still operating this way, literally back to back to back to back. So until then, like, I'm just gonna say this is good for you to have everybody stand up and say, I'm not gonna just say, oh yeah, no problem, don't worry about it. Let's just move forward and forget about it.
There needs to be consequences. She was a total dick, and there needs to be consequences for being a dick. We talk about it all the time, like on Southern Charm, like, don't date these dudes. These guys are dicks, and they're just getting rewarded by these amazing women.
Yeah.
Well, then they're never gonna understand that they're dicks. They're gonna be like, I'm pretty sick, man. I get all these chicks, not one of them, all of them. Like, I must be king of the world, right? Yeah. Like, well, yeah, you must be. Can't argue with that. Same goes for people in general. Like, you can't You can't be a dick and get away with it. You got if you're gonna be a dick, that's totally fine. You're gonna have to eat the consequences and not have a lot of friends. So what's more fun, being a dick? It's fun. Don't get me wrong, I like it, but having friends is more fun.
She seems like she could be on somewhat of a chopping block after this. Like if Lala does really well and integrates well, and
totally.
it just seems like Janet is the thing that's like still making parties weird, or like people aren't all wanting to like go on that trip together because it's like, oh my God, Janet's here, or it's keeping people separated. Like you could tell that like Michelle and I feel like it was Michelle and was it Lala? It was someone else. I can't remember. We're on one, maybe it was Brittany. We're on one side of the house with Janet. And then everyone else is kind of on the other side. And like, I feel like her friends are kind of have to accommodate her.
Yeah.
Not everyone has a problem with Janet. People like Michelle and people like Brittany and Lala, like they don't have an issue with her, but they are going to get tired of having to be on the other side of the house just to make Janet feel like comfortable. And I think Janet is actually getting wise to that. I think she's trying to act to them like she's doing her best because she knows like this has got to be taxing on them.
I feel like Lala and Janet's friendship was born out of the fact that Janet's no dummy. She was the odd man out. She wanted to, because you know, if Lala's coming onto a show, she's going to steal focus.
Yeah.
It's just, she's a very big, like love her or hate her.
Yeah.
She's just a big character.
Yeah.
So she wanted to, and also Lala is in a good spot with everyone else on the cast.
Yeah.
She's very outspoken. She can affect change on these shows just in the sense of like, I want you guys to talk. You guys are talking.
Yeah.
If Brittany says, I want you guys to talk, I don't know if anyone's
Do it.
Mike, you got to do your part.
Roadie.
Oh God.
Oh, you did it the other night though. When I
It
hit
was
you.
spontaneous and funny.
Okay. I think she wanted to become friends with Lala for all the aforementioned reasons. And I think that Janet, and I've talked about this kind of archetype of person before, they present really, really well. Like if you just met Janet and you told them that you were moving, she'd be like, oh my God, I used to be a personal assistant. I have spearheaded a million moves. I will come over and she will knock it out of the park. She will be folding her ass off like she worked at the Gap for 40 years. She will be labeling every box. She knows how to talk to all the movers. And you're just like, oh my God, who is this angel that just dropped into my life? And then you realize maybe 3 weeks later when she's cashing in on her favor with you, like, oh, that's who this bitch is. Like, she's not just the like, oh, let me help you. And of course, like, whatever, when I need help, you'll help me. And then, but that person will never even ask for help because, do you know what I mean?
No, she's going to call you and tell you about how all of her friends are being assholes to her. And then at a certain point, you're going to be like, I don't really know you that well, and like, I think you're perfectly fine, but like, it seems like a lot of people sure think you're an asshole.
They got some real good points, your friends. I mean, I haven't met them, but I do think that like that's what's happening here, where she was the odd man out. She befriended Lala. She's probably putting her best foot forward. They both have young kids. They live close to each other. It's like all the stars align for her to snow Lala a little bit in the friendship department. And just, we say this all the time, the representative only stays in the building for so long. And once the real Janet stands up, I think Lala is going to be like, you are an asshole, bro, and I'm out on you.
There's zero chance Lala doesn't know who Janet is. There's zero chance that they did not bring Lala on to take out Janet. And like, this is Lala's infiltration. Like, I can't imagine that Lala's getting snowed by Janet, that Lala doesn't know that Janet is the Looney Tune piece of shit psycho that is just everyone hates, and that if you want to stick around, then you got to take her job.
Do you think though that then Lala was just completely lying when she's like, I really like Janet, like I want her?
Maybe
you do. See, I was thinking like this.
Like, I just can't. How do you really like Janet? Like, who really likes Janet? Her own husband doesn't really like her.
But these people all became friends with her at one point. So my theory of like, I think she presents really well, correct?
Because she's because she snuck in and as a fan and got in with Kristen and everybody. I don't think at this point Lala is fooled by it.
I think she is a little fooled by it. I do. What do you think?
This is all stream of consciousness. But so first of all, I think that, they started this new show and Lala really should have been on it from the jump, but she wasn't. anytime that you sort of get like, oh, you didn't get that job, and now you've watched your friends who like aren't nearly as good at this as you are get on this show that's going, and it's the talk of the town, and it's, I mean, gets a ton of views and whatever. She knows that she has got to do something here. Let me go back to Janet, who Janet is. I think that a lot of people probably really like there is a very good chance that Janet was much cooler and more authentic and a genuine friend when she was not on TV. She might be one of those people where TV just completely changed her because she knew too much about it. All these other kids that got on TV, they were like, I feel like they were like, you know, how I always like equate to dancers. Like, I'm always trying to like, can you sign this? Oh, you missed a thing here. And they're just like bopping around, you know?
Dancing.
I feel like the original cast of Vanderpump were those bopping around kid, like where it was just like casting was like brilliant. We need that guy. We need her. She's got to be on this show. Janet was watching the show and figuring out how do they, oh, I bet I know how I can figure out how they did this, or I can figure out how to, if you really want to portray this, you just got to do like, she tried to work the system. And like, it just doesn't really work. Reality TV has a really good way of actually really highlighting the people that are not, and when I say not being their best selves, I mean not being their best, the best character. Like, you know when someone is being a fake asshole. Like it just, I don't know how reality TV does that. I don't know. You don't see it in scripted shows, but on this show, like you know. And so I just think that she was not a natural person that they cast. I think she was friends with all of these people and probably was a really good friend to them because they were all famous and they were all like mini celebrities. And like, she just moved to LA and she's like actually like going to all the places and like cutting in line and like getting into like the new clubs and like whatever. So she probably really was a good friend when like the juice was worth the squeeze for her. Yeah. I bet you she was washing their cars every Sunday morning. They'd come outside. Oh, I was just going to do mine. So I thought I would just do yours. You know, she just seems like that.
You're only 4 miles away. I just figured I'd pop over with.
Totally.
Yeah, all the stuff. Yeah. I just
was already out.
Yeah, exactly.
I was already in the car washing clothes.
Yeah.
I brought you breakfast too.
Doesn't it feel like somebody else said, like, I was friends with Janet. Like, I feel like Kristen was really good friends with Janet and then was like, I don't know what happened to her. She is not the person that I met.
It was. Kristen said that.
So it seems like the show has done this. So as of right now, I think that Lala is very smart and strategic and cunning. I just think she's a smart businesswoman and she's savvy. And I'm sure that right now, up until now, I think that probably Janet has been a great friend to her because she just didn't have any reason to not be, because Lala's kind of famous and whatever. I think that Lala has definitely seen the show, definitely knows like, oh girl, she's doing that wrong. She's doing that wrong. Like there's no way that Lala doesn't know that she's an asshole. There's just no way. And Lala's got a vacation home and a new home and some kids and probably wants to maybe have one more. I don't know. Like she's going to put business before like, well, like I just don't put it past her. And it doesn't make her a bad person. Doesn't make her an asshole of a friend. Janet's an asshole, and if an asshole beats another asshole, it's a wash, you know? Like, does that make any sense? Like, she just is, I'm sure she knows, and I'm sure she's going to take advantage of the situation to get on the show. And if she's got to tell Janet, you're a fucking asshole, and it means that Janet might get exited stage left, then she probably should have never been there anyways. I think that Lala can really justify the whole thing and be like, should have never been to begin with. I'm not even sure how she got here. She's not really good at it.
No,
if you want to win, don't lose.
Yeah, like that.
That's all great. I do think.
Thank you.
I do think there's something to be said for Lala with like her sobriety and everything, where because you know she got a second chance from ostensibly everyone in her life, right? Make amends, everyone forgives you, and she's got this, not a clean slate with everyone, but in a sense, right? Like they're not holding certain things against her because they realize all the things. And I think she's started to do that with people a little bit. Like James Kennedy, unless he's gotten help for, you know, hitting women and being how he is.
Wife beating.
Right. Like has a real checkered past. And before we knew that he had, I don't know if we need to say allegedly, but like allegedly hit his ex-fiance, ex-girlfriend, whatever. Lala would always really try, like he was persona non grata on these shows. And she would try to bring him back in the group. She would see something good in him. And I almost wonder if there's something about her because she was forgiven and she got this second chance that she'll take the underdog. She'll take the person that's got the stink on them and just be like, no, like what she does right now with her and Nia. Like, I want you guys to get back together, but she's gonna get smacked by Janet also. And then that's my prediction. And then she'll fully be out on her. But I think Janet presents well enough. And Lala is someone I think now that says like, well, I got a second chance. So let me give this person a second chance. And look, they're in therapy, whatever, but it's not going to work out.
I think that she's definitely got that side of her where like it just anytime you go through, I'm sure one of those programs, you like are way more aware of that and working to be of service to the next guy, like way more so than like the average person is because that's the jam. So I definitely think that could be a factor in it as well.
Yeah. What do we think about the Nia stuff with when Lala said, I want you guys to get back on track. And Nia's like, I'm good. I don't need to be on that track. And Lala basically has just, says, oh, she was willing to talk to Janet. Janet goes out. It's insane to me, Janet, if you know that you wronged this chick so badly, when Nia's not saying anything to you, maybe you open up the conversation because you're the one that did her and her husband dirty on national television. So maybe you can sit there and say, I just want to offer an apology.
Yeah.
But like, because Nia doesn't lead the conversation, Janet's like, well, I guess, congratulations on your pool. I'm going to walk inside.
I have been around for a little while. And I don't think I've ever seen anything as crazy as a person who spent a whole season of a TV show saying crazy stuff about some lady's husband. And then a mutual friend is like, hey, I think you got to patch things up with the lady's husband that you said all that crazy shit about. She's open to have a discussion. And then you say, okay, I'm open to have that discussion too. And you walk outside and say, do you have anything to say to me? Yeah, that's your opener? Like I get opener was I meant to tell you congratulations, and then do you have anything to say to me?
That's why I started the show with Janet, the therapy's not working.
Not
like,
working.
in the birdcage where Nathan Lane is rehearsing with that young guy and he's chewing all the gum. And he says to Robin Williams, he's like, I can't focus when he's chewing the gum. And the guy goes, the gum helps me think. And Robin Williams says, try more gum.
Yeah.
Janet, try more gum.
Because even Jasmine does the same thing.
Yes.
My friend, no, the part with like Jasmine doesn't do the same thing. She goes to Jasmine and is like, do you mind if I have a conversation? I want to talk to you. And Jasmine's like, I mean, sure. Not the place, not the time. I'd rather we didn't. And she's like, totally understand that. So basically, what I was feeling, but Jasmine straight up was like, I don't want to talk to you. Nia was just like, yeah, I guess I'll talk to her.
Yeah,
and do you have anything to say to me? No.
Yeah.
No. And if I didn't go to church, I would have something to do to you, like knock you the out.
Yeah.
That lady, Janet's crazy. Janet's a crazy person.
When a little kid does something wrong, like really wrong, and they need to understand, like, you cannot act this way, okay? And so the parent's like, okay, you have to apologize. And the little kid's like, sorry. And they're like, do you know what you're apologizing for? Because that sorry didn't sound like it. I feel like this is what we need to walk Janet through. Like, you're saying ish things that like your therapist has told you to say. Like I hear you parroting back like the mock conversations you've had with this person. But do you know why you're saying it? Do you know why Nia doesn't want to engage with you? Do you know why she's silent? Because she's waiting for you to apologize, because she's waiting for you to take the lead, because you're the one that wronged her. And the reason I don't believe anything Janet's doing beyond a press moment, or like, I think you had said it earlier, like she just wants to get back in the group so she can stay on the show. She
doesn't want to feel awkward. She is the only odd man out now of the entire group. And this group did used to be like a bomb went off on them. So the fact that she's still like the last person that like has COVID and everyone is staying on the other side of the room. Like that's what it feels like in there. And she doesn't want to feel that way anymore. But you can't just get it all back for nothing.
And she does, but I actually think what you said, or part of what you said in there, was like, because she wants to stay on the show.
Yeah.
I think she probably would walk on a lot of these friendships, but she wants to be on this show so badly she could taste it. And I don't believe any of this apology to her, because she walks in the house. She couldn't sit in that discomfort for, I mean, the way it was edited, it was 2.5 seconds of silence before she walks in the house, grabs that guy, Jared, her emotional support gay best friend.
Her emotional support gay?
Yeah, exactly. ESG. She grabs her ESG and walks into a bedroom, and now the real Janet has stood up.
Yeah.
Like, she wouldn't say anything. I don't even want to apologize to her. I don't even want to be friends with her. And it's like, and this is who you are.
Yeah.
And you're not even smart enough. If you were playing this game right, Janet, you would realize you're still on a hot mic. You're still filming. Like, but you don't really care. You just want to stay on this show. And the brilliance of this little baby angel, Nia, opening the door to breastfeed her child. And they're in there talking about it. It's specifically Janet. And they're talking about how, like, I don't even give a shit. I don't even want to be friends with her. I don't want to apologize. She should be apologizing to me.
Yeah.
Was just so great, because you saw Nia just turn around and be like, oops, wrong button.
Yeah.
Like, she does it. She's so unattached, and it makes me feel, because nothing is worse than indifference.
Yeah.
To someone like Janet, oh wait, you're not mad that I'm mad? You don't feel threatened or afraid?
You don't also want to get over this discomfort? No, I don't really have any.
Or even on the flip side of that, right? Like, okay, you don't want to make up so it's not uncomfortable. Like, wait, because Janet's a bully.
Yeah.
So like, wait, you're not scared of my bully tactics anymore?
Yeah.
What have I lost my powers?
Yeah.
I think that's why for Janet, indifference is it's like sucking the oxygen out of her room.
No, totally. And once she's off of this show, like if she can't at least get a redemption arc before she gets the boot off this show, then she's literally like the Janet of all Janet. Like she is Janet from the Valley forevermore. With you, if you run into her on the street, if she decides to stay living in Los Angeles, and like she's always going to be like, that's that one Janet lady from that show. Remember how horrible she was? Like, it's kind of a bummer. Like, you should have never done this. You want to know why? Because you didn't belong here. I'm sorry, but you should have never been on reality TV. No one plucked you. You got in because you put the work in with this group of people, and now it's really blown up in your face. And that's going to suck. That will just suck. I know that it would suck for me if I'm walking around. Imagine Amanda Batula walking around New York City right now and people just yelling things at her. Like, I would crawl in a hole and die. Like, I feel like Janet it's a similar situation where people are like, fuck you, bitch. I would be yelling at her if I was drunk and saw her.
Jason shows up in court and the judge is like, you're married to that Janet lady, aren't you?
The Janet? Like,
the Janet?
It's like it's Cher or Madonna. Like, you don't need a last name for Janet. Like,
Totally.
she's Janet.
Listen, Janet's just doing herself no favors with this shit. In my opinion, it's like, you know how like I'm working out all the time, and like I'll come in, I'm like, look, do you see this difference? Mike too. Mike meets me at the gym.
These are healthy protein cookies.
And I'm like, do you see the difference? And Nat's like, honestly, no. And then like I leave being like, I shouldn't even tell people I'm working out because this is pathetic, because you wouldn't even notice. And I feel like that's Janet with therapy. Like, don't even tell people because it's not making a difference.
No, totally. I mean, no, there are things that I don't want to tell people just because I think they'll start tracking it. Like, just do your thing. Like, I don't need someone. If I tell somebody I'm working out, I feel like every time I show up at their door, they're going to be like, giving me a one up and down to see, like, she said she's been working out. Maybe I know that. Like, or if I'm going to therapy, oh, she's still an asshole. Are you okay?
He's choking on his protein cookie.
God. You just had a yogurt and you had to go get 2 more cookies because you're starving.
Dude, it's annoying how over me you are. Getting annoying.
Does anyone have anything else for this scene to chat about?
There's a little part of me, and there's more to the party that I have, but for this Janet situation in this specific place, it does feel a little bit like the ladies got together and said, we're all sticking on this no Janet, we're not doing, this no Janet diet. Like Because, you know, there are enough people here that have worked in this business for long enough to know that, like, you can freeze people out. And then, like, if nobody is really into, like, filming, like, not just filming with them, but filming anything meaningful with them, like, you're just going to naturally fall off. And, like, people get so bent out of shape about that. Oh, they're just trying to, like, with Craig doesn't get along with Vanita, so he's just going to push her out, and then she gets fired. That's not fair. Like, that's her.
Craig never
her
filmed
paycheck.
anything with Vanita.
Yeah.
They were never friends.
Right. But, like, I think it's such a bullshit, like, cop out. Like, if people aren't filming with you, it's because they don't like you. And if this is a reality show about friends, I would rather not watch a scene for two people faking it just so, like, someone can keep their job, who I also think is an asshole. Like, there's an assholes club on these shows. I feel like I can pluck one person from all these shows and be like, you guys should just do your own.
You're an asshole.
Yeah, you're an asshole. Do a show called You're an Asshole.
Remember that episode from Sex and the City where Carrie dated that guy and then Miranda met him at the guy's funeral?
Yeah.
And she's like, he's kind of an asshole, Miranda. And she goes, no, I think he's changed. And he only had really great things to say about you. She's like, right, because he's the asshole. And then finally, like towards the end of the episode, he does something
He
and
freaks out about something.
Yeah.
And she's like, whoa, bro.
And then Miranda's like, yeah, Carrie's right. You are an asshole.
Yeah. Feels a little bit like they all had a little powwow and they were like we could, if we all just kind of stick to our guns here, like we might only have to hang out with her for 3 more months of our lives and then she can go on. Okay, the other thing at this party, I kind of loved when, you know, like when Nia does go in and she's breastfeeding and she's talking to Danny and she's like, so I just talked to Janet, but I really have no desire to be friends with this person. And Danny's like, I've never felt this way about a person. Like, I want nothing to do with this person. And like, honestly, I don't blame anyone. Like, why? Like, I don't know what level of innocent Danny was. All I know is that it wasn't her battle and it had nothing, like it was taken to a level where like, if I'm Danny, even if I'm 15% to blame for these things, 20, whatever it is, like this person has like, she brings nothing. She only brings her, like Danny's got too much to lose to keep. Sometimes you just become an adult and you've got too much to lose. I don't like being friends with people who have nothing to lose and only can gain from you. So anyways, I like
trust
that.
somebody that has nothing to lose.
Yeah. Insecure people. And because like you just know that they're going to snake you whenever they get the chance to, because they never get the chance. So like once they do, they're probably going to go for the gold.
I'm still team Danny and Nia. I don't believe 100% the whole Nia's over Janet and doesn't bother her and she's so like laissez-faire or whatever it is, nonchalant, doesn't care.
Laissez-faire.
Yeah.
Laissez-faire? Is it
There's
laissez?
blase and then there's just blase.
Blase.
Yeah, but it's
I
cute
mixed
that
them
you
to make
said
it double important.
I like it better, laissez-faire.
Yeah, blase-faire.
You're knocking 2 birds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Damn.
Now do that with West and Amanda. I'm still working on it. Still workshopping
Yeah,
it.
that's still tough. I really think about it often. As soon as she walked out of that room, she said to Danny, come in here right now. And the way she said it was a little not over it. Like she was like, there's something going on. This is just a front they're putting on. They're playing that game of like, oh, we don't care. We're not bothered. She's not a part of our life anymore. We've X'd her out. I don't believe that Nia is unbothered by this. I think she's quite bothered. And these two are giving me a little pretentious and a little like mini holier than thou vibes.
They are kind of holier than that.
Better than everybody, you know?
It's not none of it's bothering me.
It's starting to. It's not fully bothering me, but it's starting to. I'm just starting to clock it, and it's starting to bug me.
I respect that.
Listen, Nia could be unbothered herself, but even just scenes from the next where we see Danny literally kind of just tell Luke straight up, like, if this bitch did what she did to me, to you, that's not my friend. Like, I would not be friends with him. I have a feeling that Danny is way more offended and bothered and still like bent on her personally because like she poses a threat to his reputation, to
and he's the one she went after.
Yeah, exactly. It was very pinned towards him. And then Nia has always just really been like on the like in defense of like, that's my husband, that's the father of my children, that's our breadwinner, that's our like patriarch of that, like that's the man of the home, and they're a very, you know, traditional family. Like, so I see that when he's taken out of it and it's just like they're at a girls trip and she's there, I don't think she is bothered by Nia. I think that she has to basically kind of tell her husband, like, this is what happened. I want you to know that, like, I didn't give an inch. I think she gets it, and I want nothing to do with her. I think it's more of like they're kind of like divided how she's going to deal with it in two different ways.
Yeah. I'm with you.
The other thing I thought was funny kind of was that I can't remember if it was Michelle and Janet and someone else, but
Brittany.
They picked
were
up
talking
the
in the shoe.
And like Lacey has bought Michelle's daughter some Dolce & Gabbana sandals. And I was just thinking about that, like, and Janet's like, oh, whatever, let her blow her money on your kid. Who cares, you know?
Oh, I thought Michelle said that. And she goes, I don't care. She's wasting her money.
I think Janet
was
said
it Janet?
something like that because here's the thing. I didn't realize what they were talking about at first. And I was like, God, Janet's such an asshole. Because I thought she was talking about someone in the friend group. I thought maybe Brittany bought those shoes or something. And I'm like, you're such an asshole. Like telling people they're wasting their money on like these kids growing up just because you don't want to spend it. And then I rewound it and realized that it was about Lacey. And I did just think it was funny because like, you of course would want you want your like daughter to have nice things, but like there would be something so annoying to like have to keep these like probably like $600 sandals for like a little kid that they're gonna grow out of, and you're probably just like being like she's gonna grow out of any second. And I have to see these things again because it would just be
they don't
annoying.
even fit her
like,
now.
like oh my ex's girlfriend has disposable income and initiative to get in the car and drive to get something. Like these two things both offended me.
I think this is a good time to break because we've still got to get into Zach and Jesse hanging out, the snip appointment, Mike and I's favorite scene, which is Michelle and Tom on their non-date.
You guys are
date.
into Michelle and Tom now?
No. We don't. We think they don't like each other and they'd be a terrible couple, but we love watching this happen.
That's what I said. I just like these two like talking and
just be friends.
I just like seeing Schwartz flirt and say some things. It's like, hey, how you doing? I'm Tom Schwartz. I had a bar. I don't anymore.
Yeah, I find him utterly adorable.
Yeah, in his flop era.
Yeah, and she is not interested in him, so she's really cute with him too. Like,
I'm not hating on her either. Where he's like, I'm just looking for this, that, and the other, and she's like, well, let me know if I can help with that.
That's
and
so
that little cute smile she
cute.
gave, I was like, oh, I'm liking her.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So we'll get into it. So this is the end of part 1. Head over to part 2. As always, we never know when part 2 is going to get up because Natalie is just one human lady and she can only edit so quickly. So just keep refreshing.
Yeah.
And before you go, like, subscribe, hype, and tell a friend.
Yeah.
I should learn how to say that in like other languages.
Yeah.
I just think it could be funny
Oh, yeah.
to end it off being like, dos thumbs up. Tell your amigas. Anyway, adios, amigos.
Ciao, ciao.
See, we're bilingual, trilingual.